not tough.
All right, y'all have signed.
That's tough.
Yes, I will. Me too. Should I stay as nice?
That's what you're
As
joking
sweet
about.
as you are, and you'll go far.
Stay cool this summer.
Stay cool this summer.
That's my
So they've gone to a spring release? Because I never did that before, it's always, no, we don't get it.
No, yeah, we had it a year.
Not really.
Yeah.
I know. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not
All these color photos.
Can't see.
I'd like to call to order the Lowell Area Schools Board of Education regular meeting for July 14th, 2025 at 7 p.m. If I could ask you all to please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Additions or changes to the agenda?
none tonight.
Public comments on the agenda?
None tonight.
First order of business is our consent grouping, and this is the approval of minutes for the regular meeting on June 9th, closed session June 9th, work session on the 23rd, and closed session on the 23rd. Could I get a motion to bring this item to order?
So
Motion by Jennifer, could I get support?
Support.
Support by Jessica. Mr. Fowler, comments on?
Yeah, just to start by mentioning some of the new hires that we have. So on this list of approvals, we have Dominic Lowe for the high school principal, went through an extensive process. We actually went through two extensive processes with the curriculum director and the high school principal position. Sarah Moffat-Amrine to teach first grade at Bushnell. And then we have a list of our lead teachers at Great Start Readiness, and I'm really excited about this group. We have Emily Kreisinger, Chelsea Fritz, and then not on this list, still processing, but Jessica Polzak, so she'll be next month from our current GSRP program. Lisa Sage, Erin Hendrick, and Amy Donahue from our current Curiosity Corner program. And then Lauren Koster, who's new to the district, but right out of school and full of energy, and really excited to welcome her on board too. So another great group of new hires for approval tonight.
Thank you. Any other questions on the consent group?
I had a question on the financial status report. On the federal funds, we're at 72%. Are those funds canceled, or are they coming? How does that work?
That's a good question. Those funds we have to spend before we request reimbursement. So we're requesting reimbursement over the summer once we get all those payrolls posted for July and August. We have to spend those down before we request those funds.
Got it. So then they still go back into
We are
this
still
fiscal
getting,
year?
yes, we're still getting those funds, and they will be posted to June 30 once we receive them.
Perfect, thank you.
So expenses are incurred and accrued, waiting for the,
Yes.
now it's reimbursement
Yes,
for the.
we have lots of work to do this month to get all those numbers updated, so those are not final numbers by any means.
Right, thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions? Hearing none, all those in favor of the consent grouping as presented, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next order of business is purchase of CNC equipment. Could I get a motion to bring the purchase of the CNC equipment to order?
So moved.
Motion by Lori. Can I get support? Support. Support by Jared.
Right, I'm gonna turn this one over to Sonia, and I will also note that our shop teacher, Tony Ellis, is here. And he doesn't know this, but I'm gonna put him on the spot. He is our CNC expert if there are any questions about what these machines do.
Yeah, don't ask me about that part. We were able to get a few quotes for these CNC machines, and the ones that we are requesting approval for are from the ShopBot Tools company. These machines are the same brand and similar style as the one that we already have in in the home essentials class, and so we're wanting to keep it consistent, having the same type of machine, same type of maintenance, same type of parts, should we need to repair them. They are on a contract through the TIPS Purchasing Consortium, so we didn't have to do a full bid process. We're able to rely on their process to check all of the boxes that we have to check, given the cost of the machines. We are looking to purchase 3 of them to replace 3 that are old. They're breaking down, difficult to use if we can use them at all. So we're looking forward to having new machines. I would like to note that these are being paid for from a community fund grant. So the amount of the grant is $47,020. That would cover these machines as well as some other incidental costs that go along with them that don't require board approval.
Do we warehouse the equipment afterwards for spare parts, or do we break it down for available inventory for other parts?
The old machines?
Yeah, the old machines.
I checked with Canada, is the only place that has the parts is Canada. They did not want to purchase them back.
Do we, could we house them here, or do we?
It's
is
a
that something?
different, it's out of date. That's
Okay.
one of the reasons why I looked into the new CNC machines, because I couldn't get parts
Yeah.
to fix them, and actually only 2 really work.
Okay. Excellent.
So, yeah.
Thank you.
Mr. Ellis, would you mind giving an example of something students would make with these machines, or how you use them in the classroom?
Oh yeah, I try to integrate math as much as possible into the classroom, and using these CNC machines, it's a direct correlation with the coordinate axis systems and geometric shapes, and just plotting an actual project of theirs using the computer, and taking that computer and actually making the physical object of that, all using geometry and math and the coordinate system, which is really, they're like, oh, I get this.
You can use math. All right, nice, thank you.
Does the robotics team or any of the other, ancillary programs around leverage the CNC equipment?
I do a lot of teaching on the software. It's a really software-based, and I like to do that because industry uses it. Chris Phillips, my peer, uses it as well in his engineering classes. It just gives the kids a taste of what, design abilities and software is like, I guess. And,
Yeah.
to let someone else use it,
I didn't know if there was any combined, bodies of work.
I have had students make different things for different community members, I guess, like I can't remember, signs and stuff for shops. Of course, I'm drawing a blank. Yeah, they use them, and
Yeah.
He didn't know he was speaking to
Yeah.
right.
Way on the spot. So just curious, I'm excited to know that we're, furthering, technology and the use of technology in our high school. I mean, I think it's a key component to STEM is actually starting to get the hands on, what does this mean when we start talking about, science, technology, engineering, math, how does this all go together? And it's a great example of being able to put
being a
hands
former
in.
math teacher, I love the fact that I can show an actual application besides drawing the x-axis and the y-axis, and the z-axis comes out.
Yeah.
Tony, how many sections of classes that you teach are going to be using these machines?
Pretty much every one of my classes uses it in some form or another, so 4 every trimester.
Okay.
And then Chris Phillips also is able to use it, so it probably is going to be used probably 5 classes out of the year, or classes out of the day.
Thank you.
I think it's worth noting too, just with the grant from the Lowell Community Fund, that grant, one of the focuses of the community fund is education in the community. And they've been very generous with a lot of school projects, but really like these career-based opportunities, some of the pre-manufacturing programs, grant to fund the guitar class that takes place in the shop with Chris Phillips. And so just appreciate that group and their willingness to support our school programs.
Any other questions? Hearing none, all those in favor of the purchase of 3 CNC machines from ShopBot at a total amount of $44,440.70, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next part of our agenda goes into information. Human resource update, do you have?
Yeah, I'll take that. Justin's on vacation this week, so we announced new hires. We do have a few more positions to fill, so when he gets back into town, we'll be working on some interview processes. We've got our annual para bid meeting to make sure and see what jobs we'll have available at the end of this month, so that one's coming up. And he's not here, but I did take the extra time in the office today to complete my compliance videos for modules for bloodborne pathogens and all of those things. So I just want to make sure I get credit for that with HR.
Next order of business is our budget update. Ms. Hahn.
All right, I have a couple items for you. The first thing I wanted to touch on was I left under your packet a bid sheet for the asbestos abatement project over at Cherry Creek. As we're getting ready to start that renovation project, we wanted to get started on the asbestos so that we can start clearing that out before contractors get on site. Because the low bid of $26,000 is below the state bid threshold, we were able to just go ahead and get the contract awarded without board approval. But because we went through this whole process, we want to make sure that we update you. We have 5 bidders, and the contracts ranged from $26,000 up to $129,200. We have worked with ProTech Environmental in the past and have had a good experience with them, so we were excited we were able to work with them again. So they started working this morning, showed up at 8 a.m. and they're getting going, and so the first part of the work will take about a week or so, so maybe 2 weeks, and then we'll be able to move forward with the renovation project as those will start to go out to bid at the end of this month. The other item I wanted to touch on is just an update on our federal grant funds for title. You've probably heard in the news that the federal government has frozen the funding that we've been expecting for this year. Those funds have been appropriated, they just haven't released them, and they're putting a hold on that. We're not sure if we will get those funds or not, but I wanted to update you that they have released Title I funding to the state, so we will be working on our budgets very soon once the state can. They have to rework the application to only push through Title I. Typically, it's all of our titles at one time, so they have to do some programming there. That amount from last year was $291,000. We don't know yet what our allocation will be this year. For Title II, III, and IV, we last year received a combined $94,350. So that's in the ballpark of what we would expect to receive this next year as well. So we'll be keeping an eye on the news and from MDE, what they send out as developments occur. So right now, we're just in a holding pattern. We are fully expecting to be able to do our Title I budget, but Title II, III, and IV are kind of up in the air right now. And I think we'll probably be having this conversation again next year at budget season when we see what the federal government does from here.
So this frozen money is money for next year, next school year, or money to
25-26.
Okay, so we're all set on the money we've already spent
Yes.
this school year.
Yes, that money, the state of Michigan already has on hand.
Okay.
They typically get the funds in June or July to spend for that year to reimburse
Okay.
districts. So yeah, we're good on this year. It's next year that we're concerned about.
Okay.
And then update on the state budget, I don't have any new information. They are going to be back in session tomorrow. We're told that they're still negotiating and they're still meeting even though they're not in session, so I know the work is continuing. But I don't know what kind of progress they're making. So at this point, we still don't know anything else. That's all I have.
Thank you. Next order of business is our curriculum update. Mr. Goff, welcome. by the way.
Thank you. It's a very different view from this side of the room. It's been a very exciting few weeks for me. I know Dan is not here, but I feel like I need to thank Dan Vandermeulen for his time, energy, effort, and good work in helping support me in a good transition into the curriculum office. I also want to thank the central office team for their patience and flexibility as I learned my new role. My goal here over the course of the remainder of the summer is to just make sure that we're providing stability for our instructional staff so that they continue to do the good work that they do for students every day. In order to achieve that, I've scheduled learning chats with all of the key department leads and staff across the district so that I can learn about district operations and determine how I might best support our programs for continued growth. I've also had a lot of time over the last couple of weeks to work with Mr. Lowell, our new high school principal, who is working to transition into the high school office and doing excellent work there. So I'm very comfortable that that transition will go well and the high school will have a smooth start this year. As all of you know, learning doesn't stop here in Lowell during the summer. We've got a number of programs going on during the summer, starting with our Summer Boost elementary tutoring program. I want to thank the involved staff and especially Kendra Lee, our program lead, who did an excellent job organizing and conducting that program, especially considering that we condensed it into 3 weeks. This year, we provided tutoring in math and reading with a heavy focus on reading. So we did collect pre and post data, and we'll be reviewing that data for the effectiveness of the program. Kendra and I will be meeting to go through that, but a preliminary review shows that the program was successful and also valuable. I had the opportunity to be around the program for a few days, and just really a lot of fun to see students having a good time learning math and reading during the course of the summer. I also had the opportunity to be a guest reader at our Arrow Readers on the Move last week at Cherry Creek. I want to thank Caitlin Pulver, who's our program lead there, for organizing that program. Again, it was a lot of fun. We had about 30 elementary students who were just excited to read, be in the library with their peers, and hit the prize table if they had colored in enough of the books on their record sheet. I look forward to reading again this week at Murray Lake on Wednesday. Our summer school credit recovery program is about halfway through at this point. We run that program in a partnership with Kent ISD. They provide the certificated teacher, we provide the site and support staff. So we have 3 staff members in the program. Brian Dollar is a math certified teacher, provides support to students in math where students struggle most in terms of credit recovery. And then we have 2 paraeducators, Matt Dode and Chris Rickert, who serve as academic coaches to make sure kids are on track, hitting their targets, and getting their coursework done over the summer. We started that program as a pilot last year. Prior to last year, we would have a handful of students earn 2.5 credits or less during the summer school program. We found that the barrier really was having to go out to the ISD, that distance and traveling to get support and take their tests. And so by establishing this program in partnership with the ISD, we increased that last year to 42 courses, or 21 credits were covered for 59 students last year. So it really has become a pretty effective Tier 3 intervention for students who are in need of credit recovery. The summer school program students can take courses if they want to accelerate, but there's a tuition cost for that through the ISD of $250 a course. So we have a few students who will take courses to accelerate, but the majority of our students are taking credit recovery. And again, I think probably September, October, we'll have some numbers for you to show the effectiveness of that program this year. We are again in August, early August, sending a group of 10 teachers to the Professional Learning Communities Institute. This is our 3rd or 4th year sending teachers for that professional learning experience. I'm appreciative of the board's support for that, the community support. We've made a commitment to professional learning communities in the district. Remember, that's not a program. It really is a process, a research-based process to ensure that all students are learning at high levels and that we're responding if not. So it's important that our new staff members get that exposure and learn about that approach here in the district. You heard about open court reading, K-5. We're continuing with that implementation. All involved staff were trained on May 23rd, and we have another training scheduled on August 22nd. So those staff members will have the opportunity to implement the program and then have some follow-up PD with the company to ask questions that may come up in that first week of implementation. And then finally, we're getting some scores in from the previous year. I want to recognize our high school students and staff who participated in the AP program. some of whom are here tonight. We had another outstanding year with 82% of our participating students earning qualifying scores on their AP test. That's a record here for us in Lowell area schools. The previous record was last year. 80% of our students earned qualifying scores. In addition to that, we had a record number of students participating in the AP program and a record number of AP tests, with 326 students taking 613 AP exams this past spring. We saw average score increases in 7 of the 14 AP courses, and 120 students earned an AP score of 5, the highest possible AP score on their AP exam. This is our 5th consecutive year where all of our AP Calculus BC students have earned qualifying scores, and our first year where all of our AP Calculus BC earned 5s. So 100% of our AP Calculus BC students earned the highest possible score on the AP exam. So again, I want to congratulate the students and staff involved. I also think it's important to mention that we started the Flex Time Intervention program 2 or 3 years ago, and we've had a lot of conversation about the reduction in course failure rates at the high school as a result of that program. But I think it's important to note as well that we are also seeing increased scores in the AP program because that program allows for students to get help and support during the instructional day. Our AP students tend to be some of our busiest students, and so when they have to get help and support outside of the instructional day, it's hard on them. They have other things that they're involved in, and they have to make difficult choices. So just some good preliminary data to end my first report. So I appreciate the opportunity to serve the district in this role. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next order of business, public comments.
We have 2 tonight.
Reminder, we are 3 minutes on the clock once we start the agenda. Start the first.
Taylor Bonda.
All right. This is my first meeting, so thank you.
Please,
Come on
if
up
you
here.
could,
Oh,
I'm sorry.
okay. Yeah, I've never done this before, so I got it on my phone, so I didn't really pack much here. So I'm Taylor. I'm a mom living in Lowell. I assistant coach at the high school, and I'm currently in my 2nd year at Aquinas for my mental health counseling degree. I just want to say that I've been impressed with Lowell schools. We moved here from Colorado about 4 years ago, and how they meet state requirements and also the needs of our kids. But I had an idea that would be easy to implement and could positively impact our kids and teachers, boosting learning, health, attention, social skills, and even teachers' job satisfaction. So there's been some research between kids aged 6 and 17 who thrive with 2 to 4 hours of outdoor time each day. But American kids right now are getting 4 to 7 minutes a day of unstructured outdoor play, which is 70 to 80% less than past generations outside of school. The US guidelines, the AAP and the CDC, they recommend 60 plus minutes a day of moderate to vigorous activity for kids aged 6 to 17. And since the school year and the days have gotten longer over the years, extracurriculars make it harder for these kids to experience that. That moderate to vigorous activity is linked to improved brain function, emotional regulation, reduced anxiety, better attention, and academic performance. Cornell did a study and found that a US elementary class regularly went outside 78% of the days with up to 285 minutes a day of outdoor time, which I know is a lot, but reported boosts in well-being and academics. Teachers also report that outdoor learning improves student engagement, behavior, and their own job satisfaction. So currently, our elementary school kids in Lowell are getting 45 minutes of outdoor time. So this is 15 minutes after lunch and then 1 other recess, either in the morning or the afternoon, in a 7-hour school day. Middle school and high school kids get 30 minutes for lunch, and that they may go outside during that time, but they're often just scarfing down their food or going without it if they want to get that outdoor time. So I thought it might be an easy ask to increase our outdoor time by just 15 minutes a day, giving our elementary school kids the CDC recommendation of 60 minutes, and our middle and high schoolers at least 45 minutes, which would still include their lunchtime. I understand there are also seat minimums to meet with the state, so this could be as simple as moving to structured indoor lessons outside, equipping teachers to teach outside, as all of our schools have space for this, and offering a short free playtime at another time in the day. To ensure changes are effective, I'd also suggest a committee of parents and staff to partner on specific data collection related to increased time for outdoor play and how it impacts incidents of behavior, test scores, etc. And if the data shows benefits, we could consider increasing further the following year. Lastly, I believe it's important to teach kids preparedness, so allowing outdoor play when it is raining, non-dangerous weather would be
Thank you,
beneficial to all.
Appreciate it, thank you very
Yeah.
much.
Stephanie Boone.
I'm Stephanie Boone, I live at 2205 Knoll Point Drive in Ada. And on June 27th of this year, the Supreme Court ruled on the Mahmood versus Taylor case, stating, "We have long recognized the rights of parents to direct the religious upbringing of their children." I just want to make you aware of that in case you have not had a chance to take a look at that yet. I know you're getting some guidance from probably the NEA, MASB, who knows where else, but I want to make sure that you understand the impacts of that. As I've told you many times before, LGBTQ plus teachings and curricula go against my family's religious beliefs. We believe that there are only two sexes, male and female, assigned to us by God our Maker, and that marriage is a perfect union between a man and a woman and none other. Based on our religious beliefs and the Supreme Court's ruling, we are hereby immediately opting out our children who attend LAS from all LGBTQ plus related texts, surveys, and curricula within LAS, regardless of when or where that material is to be presented during the school day. Further, we're opting out our children from mandatory preferred pronoun usage and shared sex bathroom and locker room policies, which we know exist through the use of internal district documents that Mr. Fowler has acknowledged, as well as student support plans, which have not been shared publicly with we the parents. Your current policies are both unconstitutional and in violation of statutory law. We look forward to hearing a prompt response from LAS as to how you will implement the Mahmood v. Taylor decision, including how and when you intend to be compliant with it, and your plan to alert parents about related changes to the current district policies. Your plan should include identification of all LGBTQ plus materials, texts, surveys, and curricula regardless of their location, meaning in the classrooms or in the libraries, as well as notification of said existence to the parents of children who attend LAS with the option to opt out our children. Additionally, we would like to know what discipline will be applied if an LAS staff member does not honor our opt-out request. Please confirm receipt of our request in writing within 24 hours, and we will await your full response shortly thereafter. It's our expectation that our request will be implemented on the first day of school. For your convenience, I've identified several books within our LAS classrooms and libraries, which are currently in violation of the new Supreme Court ruling as a starting point. That's on the back side. This is respectfully written by my husband, David Boone, and myself. We are the parents of Trevor, Dylan, and Cody Boone, all students within LAS. And this is just a sampling of some, just to get you started. You've all got a great summer tan, but there's time. I did this just today.
Thank you. Next order of business is our superintendent's report.
All right. I'll acknowledge that we received a letter, so we'll take a look at that, and just as we learn more about this case and this ruling and what the implications are, we'll get back with information about that. Also, just with respect to the other comment too about the outdoor time, I appreciate the appreciate the information, appreciate the comment. As a teacher myself, it was challenging to organize a group of ninth graders to get outside and to have focus and energy for that, so it's a balance that we have. I would say that at the middle school, through that renovation process, we've added an outdoor classroom space. As part of the Cherry Creek renovation, we have outdoor classroom space there as well, and so opportunities for teachers to get their kids outside and engaged with their learning outdoors. There's a really cool hammock garden that's being built with a grant from the Lowell Education Foundation right now as well. So just an opportunity for some relaxation and some reading outside. And so, yeah, I appreciate keeping that conversation going about how we can use that space. I would also say that I had lived in Lowell for 20 years before I knew what a cool place the Cherry Creek Pond was. Just an underappreciated resource in our town. It's really just an amazing ecosystem back there.
Yeah, lots to learn.
So yeah, so thank you for that. Welcome to Mr. Goff. Appreciate your report and just the energy that you've brought to this position so far. It's exciting to see the continued improvement on the academic data, and also want to extend my congratulations to our AP students who not only earned college credit but put themselves out there to attempt to earn college credits in a different situation, and the teachers that help guide them for that. We've got 36 days until the first day of school. Working hard to get ready for that. Thank you for everybody who came through the carpet cleaning out in the lobby this evening. But we're about at the time where the pace starts to ramp up as we get ready for the school year. So looking forward to that and appreciate the teams who are working to get that. During Sonia's report, she mentioned the asbestos work at Cherry Creek that started today. Excited to see that project open for bids next week. Also seeing visible progress at the high school track. The base layer has been laid, so it's starting to look like a track now. The top coat will go, or the top coat of asphalt will go in next week, and then we'll have to wait a little bit for that to cure. So there'll be a period of time where it seems like we're not making progress, but we're just waiting for that to set up before the track coat and the striping takes place. But everything's on track for that. The Wittenbach Center roof's complete. The carpet installation at Murray Lake is underway, so we're looking on track to get that ready to welcome teachers back. Also, just want to offer appreciation to everybody who's been involved with our ongoing contract talks. We're really close to getting that wrapped up and over the finish line. So we'll have some conversation here about that in a little bit. But it's been a long process, but just appreciate everybody who's been involved with that. Look forward to getting our focus on getting kids ready and welcoming them back to school here. So a scheduling thing, we do not have a workshop scheduled at the end of this month. So that fourth Monday, we don't have a meeting scheduled. So the next meeting will be our regular meeting, August 11. We may need to hold a special meeting just when it comes to approving some of these contracts and going through that process. So they're maybe putting out some calls for availability for board members in the next week or two. So that's what I have.
Wonderful, thank you. Next order of business is board communications. Jared, start with you.
I appreciate the funding and stuff we're putting into for this CNC machines and stuff for, like you said, for STEM. And I like that idea you had. Did that come from, did you do that in Colorado?
What's that?
That lot of outdoor time?
There is more, but I did leave some references, with Sonia over there, if you guys wanna check out where I got some of that information.
Thanks.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
Jennifer.
Annie.
Annie, I'm sorry.
Maybe next month.
Jennifer's over there.
Looking at
Maybe
you.
next month, Brian.
Yeah. I'm gonna
That's
get it one of these
okay.
times.
I appreciate both public comments tonight. The outdoor play, in particular, I did a study in grad school just as we were learning like how to do basic research studies, and kids that had like 3 or more recesses in school correlated with higher test scores in reading and in math, which are 2 of our 3 goals for our district. And I think the public comment mentioned nicely that the third goal, belonging, engagement, feeling like they're belonging in school, correlates to that, the time that they have for unstructured play which I was happy that you mentioned the word unstructured, 'cause sometimes we like to think everything has to be directed by adults. The kids learn, their brain develops when they have time to figure things out and play on their own, so I appreciate that as well. And I've got a nice list of books to add to my collection, so thank you.
We have a Wittenbach Center that is a buried treasure, an unappreciated treasure, I think sometimes. I know that we as a board and we as a district do use it, but I think it's always nice to have people come in and educate us on the fact that we need to use those resources more. And I do like that, and he's, of course, more up on the latest kinds of research on that stuff, but thank you.
Much better.
Well, you are much better, yes. But thank you for that comment, so. Welcome, Mr. Goff, to the big people's table, for lack of a better phrase.
Thank you. Now, Jennifer.
I think it's very reassuring to see we're not only covering summer credit recovery and summer boost, but we're also having record AP tests that show some amazing staff and the willingness they're putting in to get all of our students educated, some that perform towards the bottom and some that perform at the top. So thank you very much for the hard work that we're doing for all of our students across the spectrum.
I think I'm all set. I think you guys covered everything.
No comment.
The only thing, maybe we see CNC windmill blades in the future for outdoor activities.
Maybe trail signs
Yes.
this way.
That was a cool move.
I thank everyone. There's a motion, a request to go into closed session to discuss negotiations. Could I get a motion to bring this item to order?
So moved.
Moved by Pat. Could I get support?
Support.
Support by Lori. Annie?
Oh, yeah, we gotta do a roll call. Thank you for that, yeah.
Thanks.
Yes, I agree.
Jared?
Nice job.
Yes.
Lori?
Yes.
Jared's yes. Jennifer?
Yes.
Jessica?
Yes.
Pat?
Yes.
We are in closed session at 7:37. Motion passes.
That's it.
We did worry too bad.
Oh, yes.